Nobody officially takes your name off of anything. They're more civilized than that. They just stop adding it to new things. And for a while, you can't quite name what's going on. And you feel it before you understand it. That recognition that something has shifted in the temperature of the rooms you walk into. The way that attention moves. The way it used to find you. And now somehow it routes around you. Not abruptly or hostilely. Just not even consciously maybe, but consistently enough that eventually you can't pretend that you haven't noticed. Because you're still there. You're present and you're contributing. But somehow between then and now, you've become part of the backdrop. You're acknowledged, but you're not sought out. You're seen, but not reached for. And that's a specific kind of feeling. And if you know it in your body before you know it in your mind. It shows up in different rooms depending upon your life. Maybe it's professional, where you walk in and you're carrying decades of pattern recognition, context, scar tissue from having already survived the version of this crisis everyone else thinks is brand new. And somehow the burden falls on you to make the case for your own relevance, to prove what's there while you're doing the work, while being gracious about it. The impetus is on you to make the case for you. It's always on you. Maybe it's romantic, and the attention you do receive carries a different quality now. Something that makes you pause and ask whether this person is actually seeing you, whether you're truly being seen, or whether you're being sized up for something that has nothing to do with who you are. On the creative front, there's your art, your voice, your work, which is still full and still alive. It's still saying something. It's just having to travel farther and push harder to reach the people it belongs to. And that's not because it's less, but it's because the algorithm of human attention has quietly deprioritized you. Maybe it's social. The way a room reorganizes when you enter it. Those conversations that don't quite turn toward you the way they used to. That the sense of being peripheral in spaces you used to be centered in. Nobody moved you. You just drifted to the edge of it somehow. Now here's what the data says. Briefly, because you deserve to know that it is just not your imagination. Nearly 80% of women report experiencing ageism, not suspecting it, not being sensitive about it, experiencing it. And it compounds, layering onto race or onto your body or onto geography, onto whatever else the world has already decided to measure you by. So no, you're not imagining it. You're not misreading the room. You're reading it exactly right. Because this experience, this invisibility, it doesn't always arrive with, oh, hell no. For some, it definitely arrives with, oh, yes, oh, hell yes. Some women exhale into that. And I mean that with the full respect for what that exhale represents. When a certain kind of attention lifts, that kind that followed you whether you wanted it or not, that assessed you before you'd even spoken, that treated your presence as an open invitation that was never extended. When that quiets, something else opens up in its place. It gives you more space to exist without being appraised, to move without being tracked, to finally live closer to your terms than anyone else's. And there is indeed real freedom in that. And that version of winning doesn't get named enough because it doesn't look like winning to those outside of you. And then we have the women who are still mid-sentence when that room goes quiet, who have work left, voice left, something that is still forming and still being offered and still mattering. And that silence, it isn't relief, it's resistance. It's that wall between what you have and the people it belongs to. Both of those women are real. Both experiences are true. And they can live in the same person at the same time, even on the same Tuesday morning. But I do want to make it clear, because some people are going to hear what I'm saying and they're going to walk away from this conversation thinking that I'm speaking about beauty, about faces and bodies and what age does to them. And I want to be clear that this is not that. Because your worth, as cliched as some people make it sound, your worth was never housed in how you look. Not when you were younger and the room was reaching for you for real. Not now, not ever. What we are talking about here is not the diminishment of your appearance. We are talking about the diminishment of the reach for your mind, for your experience, your voice, and your contributions. That fullness of what you carry into every room that you've walked into. This is what this is about. Nothing less than that. What I do want to say to both, that the room's behavior, it's not a report card on what you contain. What gets overlooked is not automatically less valuable. It's just overlooked. Those are not the same. They're not the same thing. And, we kind of spent a long time, too long actually, allowing the world to convince us that they are the same. Your pattern recognition didn't age out. Your depth did not expire. The things you've lived through and metabolized and turned into something useful, all of that, it's still there. Whether that room is currently reaching for it or not. And yes, there can be grief in being unseen or feeling unseen while there's still so much to give. And that is very legitimate. You don't have to reframe that into a lesson before you're finished feeling it. You don't have to perform that you're okay about it. But you do want to keep going. Keep going in the way that fills your life out, in the ways that matter to you, finding your tribe, pouring into those who pour into you, moving toward the people whose vision can actually hold what you're carrying. Not because someone told you to. Not because you owe anyone your persistence, but because you are still here. Still mid-sentence. That sentence isn't finished yet. And neither are you. Stay with yourself there. And continue traveling.